Okay, this might be a little hard to see, but I promise you it's worth it. What I'm holding in my hand right now is a bona fide collector's item. To our knowledge, you cannot buy this item in a store, although you may be able to find it in some vast unexplored corner of the internet. I don't know. Can we get a close-up shot of this? Does that work? It's a teeny tiny fake dime. It's fake because it's not a real dime, but it is made of real gold. On one side of the dime is the word liberty. And on the reverse side, which I think we took a picture of earlier, it's an image of two men, one of them named Ed Clark and one of them named David Koch. David Koch, currently the 10th richest man in America. Last month, I interviewed Jane Mayer on this show after she wrote a profile of David Koch for The New Yorker. In that interview, Jane Mayer mentioned that David Koch had made a failed run for vice president back in 1980 on the Libertarian ticket. And that mention jogged my girlfriend Susan's memory that she had a souvenir from that campaign. That campaign in 1980 minted gold dimes with David Koch's head on them, like he was Caesar. And while it is awesome to be so filthy rich that you can mint gold money with your head on it while you're running for office, while that is awesome, it is really hard for somebody with ideas like David Koch's, even if you're as rich as David Koch is, to get elected to office in this country. David Koch's Libertarian presidential ticket lost that election very, very badly. And Mr. Koch moved on. He refocused his attention on Koch Industries, the second largest privately held company in America, which David Koch and his brother Charles inherited from their dad. If David Koch could not get elected vice president to promote the interests of his company and himself as the world's 10th richest man, even though he minted money with his own head on it, what are his other options? Well, there's the traditional way that rich corporations and rich people try to get their way in American politics, by buying it. Take, for example, California's Proposition 23. California has a strict greenhouse gas reduction law. Prop 23 would suspend that law. And that, of course, would be awesome for companies that make a lot of money by making a lot of pollution. 97% of the funding for Prop 23 so far comes from oil and chemical companies, including a cool $1 million donation dumped into the campaign by Koch Industries a week ago today. But if you're the 10th richest guy in America, if you inherited that wealth, if you're the kind of guy who wants to take money out of his pocket and see his own face looking back at him from the money, do you think you're going to be satisfied with failed bids for office and big donations to your pet political causes? Of course you're not. It's not enough. How about a movement, some sort of seemingly popular uprising? Could a popular movement to promote the interests of your company and yourself as the 10th richest man in the country be purchased by any chance? I'd like to introduce you to Happy Friendly Hispanic Waitress Serving Salads. I'm not calling her that. That's actually what this is that you're looking at. See, here's the label at istockphoto.com. Happy Friendly Hispanic Waitress Serving Salads. You can also meet her at the website rallyforjobs.org. See, there she is. Rallyforjobs.org is a fake grassroots effort funded in part by the Koch brothers to make it look like there are real humans who passionately believe that Koch Industries needs to be able to pollute more. Look, here are fireman buddies who are rallying for Koch Industries. I'm not being patronizing about that. That's the name of what you're looking at. Fireman Buddies is the label used as the descriptor for this photo, where it comes from, at istockphoto.com. Here's man working on power line. Here's paramedic in ambulance. At the Koch brothers rallyforjobs.org website, the caption next to all of these fake purchased clip art images says in part, quote, throughout September, thousands of Americans will assemble together to call upon the government to reopen the gates of American energy prosperity. A great focus group tested political storyline, of course, complicated by the fact that these regular Americans rising up for whatever are models at istockphoto.com, images of whom have been purchased for this nifty fake campaign. This week, rallyforjobs.org held an event, an offline, live-action, real human event in Canton, Ohio.
The reason for these energy citizen jobs rallies across the nation is to put Washington, D.C. on notice. We have to put them on notice that we will not continue to tolerate the wasting of our tax dollars on dubious green projects and phony green jobs with ridiculous returns on investment.
Thanks to thinkprogress.org for attending the event and for pointing out that that particular concerned American citizen, worried about her tax dollars in a way that just happens to coincide with the interest of the oil and gas companies, is the president and CEO of Ariel Corporation, which is a giant gas company. The problem with the rallyforjobs.org idea is that there aren't enough oil company CEOs like her to make any live action event look like a popular uprising. And while you can populate your website with models purchased from iStock photos, it would be really difficult to populate your rally with models purchased from iStock photos, even if you bought the rights to print out those clip art people life size and glue them onto cardboard. So if you want to create the impression that there is a popular uprising of regular Americans willing to physically make themselves seen rallying for the interests of Koch Industries and the 10th richest man in the world, 10th richest man in the country, what's the next best way to do that? Watch this.
Which refinery are you with?
Marathon Petroleum.
Okay, and are there many folks out here today from Marathon working on that?
That whole bus right there.
Oh, this whole bus right here is from Marathon?
Yeah.
Marathon, as in Marathon, the oil company? Rally for Jobs, a project of Koch Industries and the American Petroleum Institute, bust in people who work for oil companies to fill up their regular citizens rally promoting what the oil companies want. Quote, most arrived in 4 buses that delivered them from the Canton area. This is not the first time that Koch Brothers and company have done something like this. You might remember us reporting last August when they did this in Houston. They held a supposedly regular citizens rally against climate change legislation where the oil companies again bust in their own employees. That time they got busted because you could see the fine print on their signs. What's that say? At the regular person whose interests just happen to coincide with the profit motive of the oil industry? What's that fine print say on the sign? Energy Citizens, which according to Google and 0.35 seconds is a project of the American Petroleum Institute. Frankly, the thing that is most surprising about this is not that they're doing it. The thing that is most surprising about this is that they are so bad at it. If you combine the Koch brothers' fortune from Dad's oil and chemical company, their fortune is second only to Bill Gates and Warren Buffett in this country. These guys have more money than God's accountant, but they have taken the cheapest possible route to trying to hide what they are doing in politics. I mean, sure, it's interesting that they're faking this movement that supports their bottom line. But what's more than interesting, what's fascinating, is that they're faking it so cheaply. If you go to iStock Photo, you'll find that you can buy the happy, friendly Hispanic waitress serving salads for like $16 right now. They don't even bother to go to page 2 of the list either. If you type in waitress, happy, friendly Hispanic waitress serving salads is the first one that comes up. But you know what? Even on the cheap, they did get the headline that they wanted out of their Bus in the Workers fake rally in Ohio. Here it is in the Akron Beacon Journal. Hundreds rally against taxes on oil and natural gas. The Koch brothers are so bad at this that any news outlet looking beyond the press release for their information on this could just as easily have published the headline, "Oil companies bus in workers for pathetic PR stunt in Ohio." You know, you can try to persuade people with your ideas by running for political office, by minting gold money with your head on it that makes you look like Caesar. You can throw tons of money at efforts to defeat laws that stop your pollution and hurt your profits. But when you try to get your way by faking it, you will get made fun of, unless and until you get better at it. Get off your wallet, Koch brothers. You can do such a better job. You can do a way better AstroTurf job than this with the money that you've got. Come on. You are making this too easy.